Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Hope you enjoy your time here. Today's video is basically how to change your life and mindset in your 40s, 50s, and 60s going into 2025. It's never too late to start fresh. And believe me, I know this firsthand. In my post cancer 10th month, last year, this time of the year, I was battling cancer. So, this is so true for me. It's never too late to start fresh. 10 months cancer free. I am an example of what I'm doing to start my life all over. At 60 years old, post cancer, I'm creating a new life and I'm trying to live my best life. Coincidentally, I just literally booked my tickets to go to Portugal and Greece this summer, 2025. So, why is that a big deal for me? It's a big deal for me because for a long time, I felt stuck in my routine. And if you are just like me, you know, if you are coasting through life instead of steering it, well, 2025 is a year that should be full of opportunities and tools to transform your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, this channel is concentrating in that age group because that's what I am. I'm in my 60s. Now is the time to reinvent yourself along with me. Today we'll explore practical strategies for changing your mindset, breaking limiting beliefs, and creating a life filled with purpose and growth, just like I am doing currently post cancer. And I'll tell you why it's a big deal for me that I got my tickets to go to Portugal and Greece this year. So I am a self employed individual. Part of my business is actually taking, I own an academy and I own a league, futsal. What that is, it's a form of indoor soccer. So last year we started taking teams to Europe to play during the summer. Actually, I've done that on and off in previous years, but last year was the first year that I said that's going to be part of my new business model. And the primary reason why I decided to do that is because for years, and see if you can relate to this, for years, um, I always postponed vacations. I tried, to get away for weekends, or I combined small weekends or small little vacations with my company. So, for example, if a couple of my teams were playing in a tournament, I would take an extra day or two, where we were going, if we were going out of state to play, and, kind of combine and make it a little mini vacation. But as far as creating a family vacation, I always, would have the excuse of I'm too busy. I don't have time. It's too expensive. Is this, it's that. Let me tell you something. In a blink of an eye, I went from being 20 something to 60 something. And I have not lived my best life because the work narrative. Okay. So that's why it's so important that I go on vacation and I enjoy my life. I live in the moment and I live my best life from now until when God calls me. So for me, it was very important. I told my wife, look, every year we're going to go away someplace. It doesn't matter, we have to work. It doesn't matter if it's tight, if we maybe need to penny pinch or what have you, but we're going to go away. And that's what I'm doing. Look, we need to have a perspective shift. Life isn't over, for us. It's evolving. My life, although when you get the news of cancer, it hits you. It hits you hard. And, you wonder, oh, why me? Oh, my life is over. Well, you got to grind it. You got to get strong and you got to fight. And I understand that not everybody has the strongest personality. Thankfully, my sports background and my very, very, you know, um, strong sports personality, and the way I am, the way I see, helped me fight this cancer battle. And by the way, if any out there who's watching this video, if any of you guys are either going through a cancer battle, or maybe you're supporting someone who's going through a cancer battle, you have any questions that I can help you with, especially when it comes to being strong mentally to fight this disease, by all means, please comment, please ask questions on the comments, and I'll be more than happy to reply. I know for a fact that having a strong mindset is key to fighting the cancer disease. But without, getting off topic, like I said, my life wasn't over. I decided to fight. It was evolving. I don't know why I got cancer. I don't know why. All I know is that I had to fight because I wanted to enjoy my life. I wanted to enjoy my golden years with my family. So, for the many people who think that life peaks in their 20s or 30s, that's just a myth. It's just a falsehood. You think of this. Colonel Sanders, well, Colonel Sanders didn't franchise KFC until he was 65 years old. That's amazing. At 40, Vera Wang, I don't know if you guys know who Vera Wang is a famous designer. She transitioned from figure skating to becoming one of the world's top designers at 40 years old. Well, those are examples. And at 60, I was going to fight and transition and change my life. We should start thinking about aging becoming a strength, not a weakness. You got to remember this. With age comes wisdom, resilience, and of course, the ability to make smarter decisions. Look, Julia Child, who learned how to cook professionally in her late 30s, she published her first cookbook at 49 years old. And she basically revolutionized how Americans view French cuisine. It's remarkable. Think about those things. We need to start comparing ourselves to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. Social media, oh man, it amplifies that issue. It makes it seem like everyone else is living the perfect life, except us, of course. Instead of envying someone else's, let's say, fitness journey, we should use their progress as inspiration to start our own. If you see something on social media of someone doing something great, we should use that as an inspiration in our own daily battles. And I have used actually other people's journeys through cancer, becoming cancer free, to fuel my inspiration when I was going through my cancer battle. And now I hope that with these videos and these contents and educating people about cancer, and there's a lot of videos on my channel about cancer, that I inspire other people who are either going through that journey or may have relatives who are going through that journey and they're supporting them. We need to know what's holding us back. We need to identify what's holding us back. We need to recognize limiting beliefs. Oh, I'm too old to change careers. I don't have enough time. Well, that's what I was doing. As the years were going by, I have work. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough money to spend on vacation. Well, I hate to tell you, but once you check out of this life, whatever money you have, a lot or little, you're not taking with you. So you might as well invest in today, invest into your family, and live in the present, live your best life. You know, a woman in her 50s switched careers to become a software developer after attending a boot camp, and she realized her fear of failure was unfounded. She went out and she got it done. We need to start evaluating our environment. The environment shapes your mindset. Our relationships, positive or negative, shape our thoughts, shape how we feel. A man in his 40s, in his 50s, in his 60s could join a hiking group, surround himself with people who value health and adventure, and it could help him lose weight. It's that simple. By getting into a CrossFit group with other like minded people, with people that can push you, it doesn't matter what their age is. That's why they say when you go out to work out, you should have a training buddy because one motivates the other when you don't feel like it. But that's a big, big key component of changing your life, in my opinion. Evaluate your environment, see what's negative, see what's positive, and make adjustments. We need to challenge the fear of failure. The fear of failure holds us back, but failure is a stepping stone to success. And without failure, there's no success. Look, as a owner of a futsal academy who works with young children, and actually I'm also a former college coach, soccer coach, I try to instill in the kids and the young adults that I train that it's okay to fail. I say that to my daughter all the time. I say that to my wife because my wife tries to protect my daughter from failure. She does not want my daughter to fail. Well, we need to fail in order to become successful. We need to fail in order to learn from our examples, from our errors, from our mistakes, and grow. Look, you guys remember Thomas Edison? You might know who he is, right? I mean, he famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that it won't work. Because if you read his story and if you go and do some research, you'll know that he failed so much before he could actually create what he created. So, failure, it's okay. You should encourage by failure. The more you fail, the closer you're coming to success. The more you fail at something, the closer you're coming to doing it right. Look, we need to have some strategies for changing our lives in 2025 and furthermore. And if you haven't had those strategies, I'm going to start you off with what I try to do. You might agree, you may disagree, but this is what I do. The number one thing is, and again, I'm taking a lot of this from my sports life, how I have been trained, how I have gone through my sports career, and believe me, I made it all the way to playing at the pro level for a couple of years in Europe. I have always been an athlete. I have always engaged in team sports, and I take that and I also teach that into my young kids and my young sports athletes that I coach. We need to start small. We need to start with small, with actionable steps. Big changes don't happen overnight, but small steps build momentum. If you want to get in shape, you can't go out and work 2, 3 hours and not expect to be completely sore the next day. You need to start with daily little 10-minute routines, maybe a daily walk, especially at our age. You may think that 10 minutes is not enough or doesn't do much, but at our age, when I say our age, 40, 50, 60, 10 minutes will do more for you than any other age. This morning, I got up, I have my vibration plate because, again, through my cancer, I have many lymph nodes removed. Okay, I had 29 on one side of my groin and 17 on the other. A lot of lymph nodes, a lot of swelling. Okay, so I get on my vibration plate and I try to do it daily as part of my routine. Are there days that I won't do it because of something that has come up? Yes, but I try to stick to that routine. I get on my vibration plate and I have it on for 10 minutes and it just vibrates and it moves. It helps my lymphatic system move my blood and everything. And you know what? I have some resistant bands and I'll do some resistant, curls and do some squats because at the older age, um, we lose a lot of body mass, a lot of muscle. Men lose a lot of muscle in their legs. So I try to do that. I try to do a couple sit ups. I try to do a couple push ups, a little bit of stretching, a slightly touch of yoga. It may sound like it's a lot, but it's not. It's not. 10 minutes on a vibrating plane is nothing, 10, 12 sit ups, whatever you can, 30 sit ups, whatever you can, 8 push ups. You modify the push ups. I cannot do a traditional push up anymore. So instead of laying, flat on the ground, I lay with incline and I put as much weight as I could possibly stand. But these little steps are helping me get back into shape. Again, unless you're looking to become the next Jock LaLanne at 70, 80 years old, where you're looking to have this massive, a shape, which is not that easy. We need to stay healthy. We need to, invest in these little habits. We also need to invest in lifelong learning. Today's environment in 2025, the internet makes it easier than ever to learn new skills. And we're never too old to learn new skills. Never. Until your last breath, you're never too old to learn. Well, guess what? More and more people are getting on social media. More and more people are getting on social media at the age of 40, 50, 60 and sharing like I'm doing. I'm sharing my experience with you all. And I hope you share by commenting, by liking and sharing these videos, by subscribing to my channel. But more and more people are doing that. YouTube is a great source of just turning the microphone on and the camera and just having a conversation. I watch videos daily about so many things, about mindset, about being 50 and being 60, about business, about life-changing habits, about politics, about my different interests like futsal, um, traveling. I don't think there's enough time some days where I get all the videos that I want to watch in. And I also read. I use Audible because I like to listen more than just sitting there and reading. But technology has changed and we need to embrace it. It's not that difficult. If you're brand new on here, I'm sure you found a way to get onto YouTube and click on this video. So if you have challenges, just ask somebody to give you a hand. We need to start embracing technology instead of fearing it. Technology can definitely improve the quality of our lives. Definitely. I mean, there's just so many examples here on YouTube of older people getting on and just start sharing. Another thing is, I believe that we should prioritize physical and mental health. If we stay active and mentally sharp, it will prolong our life. It will prolong. How many times do you see active seniors in their 70s and 80s and 90s? And they're just so active and they're so sharp mentally and physically. Just like I just went over, it doesn't have to be a lot. 10 minutes a day, and then you build whatever you can. And if there are days that you're tired that you don't feel like doing, well, that's okay too. Look, as a cancer survivor, there's many days that I just feel so fatigued. I mean, I'll go to the post office driving into my car, and when I come back, I'm fatigued because that's the nature of the disease. It's going to take a long time if I ever get back to normal. What's normal? Well, I don't know. What's normal for a 60-year-old not to get fatigued? But even when I am fatigued, I try to push myself. I live close to the beach, and when the weather permits, I try to go every single day for a walk. And if you follow some of my videos, you'll see there's plenty of videos that I do by the beach. There's a boardwalk. I combine my physical walking part with my mental part, my mental training. When I go to the beach, for me, it's sanctuary. I love the air, the sun, the sound of the water, the smell, the beach, everything. I love everything about the beach. It just puts me at peace. So combining my physical part where I walk to the mental part of what just explained to you, I think it's a combination prioritizing my physical and my mental health. I like to be able to create a vision of the future. Where am I going to be in the next year or the next 3 years, the next 5 years? Look, having gone through cancer, it gave me a different perspective in life because my first appointment with the first doctor that I met was basically that I had a 20% chance of survival. And that wakes you up that your life can be gone at every single moment, not just by cancer, but a lot of things. Get into an accident or something else. But just because I got that I guess uh, bad news, whatever you want to call it, I also had other doctors. And by the time I got to the third doctor, his diagnosis was that we got this. I was lucky enough to be able to go to or be admitted to Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. And that doctor, basically, his diagnosis went from we got this and 20% survival to, yeah, we got this to 85 to 90% survival. Boom. My vision of the future just changed. I visualize myself that I'm going to go through this cancer battle with him as my coach. In whatever time frame he tells me, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm going to become cancer free. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Battling cancer from August till March. March was my last surgery. And by the end of March, beginning of April, I was diagnosed cancer free. I visualized that journey. My next journey now is living every year the best life that I can possibly can, being cancer free. Look, building building a growth oriented mindset is important. Why not me? That's an attitude. Why not me? Why not now? Success is not reserved for the few. And by the way, success is not just measured by money. I got so much money, I'm successful. Absolutely not. My personal opinion is there's plenty of successful people who are not rich. They're successful because they have their family. They're successful because they have their kids. They're successful because they build a business. They're successful because they have a healthy life. There's different form of success, and nobody can say what's the best type of success. Success is up to us. Look, Oprah Winfrey, if you ever know her story, overcame extreme poverty and rejection to build an empire because she believed in herself. I mean, Oprah is one of the most richest people in the world. And like her or not, she has gone and overcome a lot because, again, we're talking about monetary success. But nobody says that you are not successful if you don't have money. That's my opinion. I believe that if you surround yourself with positive influences, good things will happen. The people that we spend time with kind of shape our mindset. If you join a group of 40, 50, 60 like-minded people who see the best of life, not that I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60 years old, oh, my life is over, poor me. If you join a group that they are vivacious, they're energetic, they find new things to do, even on the days that you have bad days, one picks up the other. And who knows? These people might give you enough inspiration to create new adventures, to create new things in your life. I believe that we should practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's missing in our lives to what we have in our lives. And listen, there's plenty of studies that show people who practice gratitude report higher level of happiness and lower level of depression. After my cancer battle, my gratitude is that in my misfortune, I was able to be admitted into Sloan Memorial Cancer Center because we all know cancer people, people who have cancer. And speaking with a lot of people, I've come to realize how grateful I should be because I was lucky enough to be able to be admitted into that center. Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer, in case you don't know, does not take on patients that already been diagnosed with cancer and have had treatment someplace else. So, in order to be able to get into Sloan Memorial Kettering, you have to be diagnosed by somebody but not be treated yet. So I find myself extremely grateful that not only I was able to be into that center, but the doctors, the nurses, anybody who helped me my cancer battle, my family, my wife, my online friends, my offline friends, everybody, I'm extremely grateful. And I'm grateful every day that I'm able to sit here and share these things with you all, even the bad days. Because look, running a business is no easy, task. It's not a joke. Running a small business, oh my God, it's torture. And in fact, a lot of people say you work 150 hours a week because you don't want to work 40 hours for somebody else. It's not easy. And there's plenty of days that I just want to pull my hair out. But I need to have the mental state, the mental stability, be strong enough to have gratitude. You know what? As bad as today's day was with business, I still am cancer free. I am healthy. I have my family. I have my online friends, my offline friends, and I am going to go to Greece and Portugal this summer. It's middle of January and the end of May. I'm heading for an amazing vacation with my family and create more memories. Practice gratitude daily. Be curious. Curiosity leads to growth. Just because you're 40, 50, or 60 doesn't mean you can't be curious. Doesn't mean, you don't want to explore interests that you may have had, but always put it aside. Maybe you wanted to pick up, I don't know, gardening or something, but you never did it. Maybe you wanted to dabble on creating content for YouTube. Well, guess what? It's never too old. Stay curious. Find things that you thought about doing, never got around to doing it, and just go out and do it. I think in order to sustain change, especially at our age, okay, we need to create daily habits and try to stay with it as much as possible. I know it's not easy, but morning routines usually set the tone for the rest of your day, no matter what your routine is. I like to get up, as I said, and make an iced cup of coffee. Love it. Love my iced cup of coffee. And then I try to do the little activities that I told you about. Usually, when I get on my vibration plate, I have my tablet and I watch some video, or I work out, with the resistor bands that I have, do a little bit of, you know, um, sit ups or what have you, whatever, the day has. But The little habit of getting up in the morning, I'm lucky enough to be able to work out of the house. I make a cup of coffee, and then basically I go through my morning routine. What goes along with your morning routine, I believe, is being able to track your progress. I think that if you track your progress, it helps you see where you came from, how far you've come along, and where you want to go. Okay. If you have no idea what you've been doing the past month, well, how can you move forward? If you don't know how many times a day, I'm sorry, how many minutes a day you worked, how many days in the week for the past 4 weeks, how can you go the next step? So tracking, in my opinion, it has to be nothing complicated. If you want to write a chart and write it down, great. If you want to mentally remember it, okay. But I think writing it down is a little more organized, and you might, refresh your memory 4 weeks from now because you may not remember 4 weeks from now. You know, it's a good thing. While you're doing all this, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be setbacks no matter what. But instead of like, oh man, I don't remember what I did on the third week. I should have wrote it down. Oh God, how can I be so foolish? Well, use that as a learning opportunity. Every setback should be a learning opportunity. So you forgot. Well, maybe the next month, now you know to start writing down. You guys know, oh, choose. My mind just went blank. Oh, J.K. Rowling. You know who she is? She wrote Harry Potter. And she had so many rejections. So many rejections. But she was persistent. And eventually, she had a breakthrough and she was able to become success with the Harry Potter series. And I'm sure you know, if you don't know who Harry Potter is, go ahead and Google it. Massive, massive success. But once again, the setbacks didn't stop her. Every time somebody says no, you get closer to a yes. That's a big thing we learn as if you ever done sales. Every time you hear a no, you come closer to a yes. Is it difficult when you put it into action? Absolutely, because nobody wants to hear no. Nobody wants to hear no. But every time you fail, you learn something. And it's okay to have setbacks. It's okay to have failures, as I discussed earlier. Look, enough talking. Your next chapter should start now. Changing your life doesn't require a time machine. It doesn't require to have perfect performances or circumstances. It just requires one thing: start with a decision to start now. No matter what your age is, you have the power to create a life filled with purpose, with growth, with joy, with anything you want. Ask yourself, what's the one thing you need to do today to reinvent yourself? Simple. It always starts and ends with you. Everything else in between is noise. I tell all my players that I train, it always starts and ends with you. Not the coaches, not the parents, not the other team, nothing. It begins and ends with you. So I want to leave you with that thought. It begins and ends with you. Start now. If you like what you heard, join our community. I'm trying to build this channel. Please share, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.